Yep.
So Aaron's sitting here with Joe and Dave from GameSack, and they were nice enough to take a step away from the booth after they sold all their trinkets to Bet and Beads, mostly to me, to do this small interview. So I guess what I wanted to ask you is, how did you guys get started?
As GameSack as a show?
I was born first. No.
Yeah.
Let's find out about how that happened.
Yeah. I don't remember much. But
Leave nothing out.
Well, we used to make videos together all the time, and we thought, hey, we got to take this in a new direction, do something fresh, something interesting, because I mean we always liked making videos, but we never really posted them publicly and stuff like that, not often. And Dave always wanted to do
a video where we go head to head. There was an old movie that I liked called the Kentucky Fried Movie, where they had a segment called Point Counterpoint, where they just bicker back and forth
for no reason.
For no reason, right? Exactly. But then we'd kind of went off of that, and YouTube was getting pretty popular, and we're like, yeah, we should put this out there.
Yeah, we thought we'd be like overnight successes. We were not,
Definitely
but
not.
It was still fun to make.
But it's cool to see, hey, somebody's watched our video. Hey, one kid in Israel, started watching our stuff, and I was like, hey, this is freaking crazy. Somebody from the other side of the world is watching it.
Yeah.
It's very flattering.
Yeah, it really is. So, and then it just kind of went from there. We just kept at it, and here we are.
So how long have you guys been on YouTube?
Let's see, it'd be a little over 4 years at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
Because we launched our first video, I think, April 3rd or 5th or something, 4 years ago.
11? Yeah.
Yeah, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for 4 years, you all had a pretty good amount of success. I've been doing it for 6, and I'm nowhere near where you guys are. Your videos are also better than mine.
Well, I think a lot of people just like seeing the stuff that not everyone else shows. Mm-hmm. They like seeing the stuff they may not know much about. They want to learn more. They want to learn more about stuff they don't have.
Yeah.
Because if everyone's talking about Super Mario Brothers,
Sonic,
what more can you say?
And what was the Japanese-only PC that you all were? The XV800?
X68000.
X68000.
X68000. Yeah.
Those are educational for
Yeah.
For a lot of people, yeah, exactly.
They were really fun for us
and
to
it was,
play.
I was going to say, educational for us, too, because we never had our hands on one of those before.
Yeah.
And we know somebody locally in Denver that let us borrow that.
Exactly.
And a ton of games, and it was awesome. It was a really cool experience
So,
for us, too.
of all the videos you do, you own 95% of the consoles and games, or?
I would like to say it's that high.
Yeah, I mean, we do use EverDrives if we have to. Usually we use our...
I know you're reluctant, Joe.
Yeah. Sometimes though, that we do have to resort to emulation, whenever we do show MAME games and Neo Geo Pocket Color. I'm starting to actually collect arcade PCBs now, so we might be able to show some real ones soon, but I don't have a whole lot.
Right, but in time we will. But we do have decent sized collections, so.
So the show kind of started off with you kind of playing off of, or I don't want to call it fanboyism, but console preferences. You obviously Sega, you Nintendo.
Right.
You decided to just branch out. At what point did you realize, let's just take this a bit further than Nintendo and Sega?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, I know in high school it actually was like that. Joe was a Sega fanboy, I was a Nintendo fanboy in high school, and we used to make VHS tapes of each other playing games on those respective consoles and give them to each other so we could.
Yeah, there was just
how
strictly
awesome they were.
gameplay footage. There was no camera footage in there.
It's like, here, watch this.
Yeah, it's like watch this. So it'd be like just watching a demo of a game being played, and so we do that back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'd say, well, here's my game that's better than your game. Watch this tape.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
But we've been throughout the history, but currently I think it adds a nice layer to the show where people like to see a little, people going at each other, and that's kind of the point counterpoint type thing that we started with. So.
But truthfully, we both appreciate anything that's a good game, really.
Anything that's a good game. Yeah, we're not.
Nobody can see that, but you are wearing a Dreamcast shirt right now. So I don't know.
I am wearing a Dreamcast. I like the shirt. It fits well. It feels good when I
It was
wear
a great
And
console.
you look great.
Yeah.
in it.
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I do like
definitely.
a lot of Sega systems. I'm not going to deny that.
There's nothing wrong
So,
with that.
yeah.
But you can appreciate it.
I like the Sega Saturn more than I like the Nintendo 64.
That hurts me as a huge N64 fan. I'm hurting inside right now. Wow. Well, there's 4 controller ports on the front of this.
That's true.
Well, I was in college when not when it came out, when it was popular, so that made sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Always somebody to play. When I graduated, it was like, this is fun, but I'm racing by myself.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
So I don't watch all the videos in order. I know your wife is heavily involved in it. So
Joe's
Jen. My Jen.
The one that's at the booth there. So at the booth over there.
That's a pretty big error to make. Let's edit that out.
Yeah, I did that one out.
Let's pretend that didn't happen. So at what point did you decide? Like, I guess I'm asking. It's not without getting too personal. I don't know if you have an engineering background. I know you obviously have a video and film and editing background. So that's something you do as your day job.
Yeah, I'm not a full-time editor, but that's what I do for my main source of income. I'm a contract editor, and try that again where my voice doesn't pop. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
You're a contract editor.
I know I said that, but I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, it definitely ties into obviously a lot of the things you talk about and all the videos. You talk about things that I stop at a certain point when it comes to video.
I've got a better answer for you.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yes, I'm. My main job is a video editor, and it's not a full-time job. It's just a contract thing, but it's what I've been doing and what I still do for just various random clients. And I like the technical aspects of things. I really like that stuff.
I've noticed.
And my my girlfriend Jen, she likes that stuff too. So that's really helpful on the show. And she runs the camera for us a lot and things of that nature. She scopes out new equipment, and so that's been really helpful to have her around.
Okay. So now your social security number. And
Exactly.
522.
Sorry, that's not going to happen. Yeah.
So was video editing part of your actual day job?
No, absolutely no. I have not. I've had an interest for it, but I've never followed any of that stuff since Joe was always there and willing and wanting to do it.
Oh man, how refreshing it must be to come down, give me all your footage, record all your voices, and then just walk away.
Home.
I'm done with that episode. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm just getting
Here
started.
I go. Well, no, because I'll expect emails from you saying, you forgot this. Where's this? What's
Why
this?
didn't you include this?
Why didn't you? Exactly.
To finish Deadly Towers for the new video. It's not that hard.
I know. Yeah. So, but no, I have I work for, so I've got a full-time job on the side.
Okay.
That takes plenty of
A
my
full-time
time.
job on the side.
A full-time job on the side.
So that's your second priority.
Okay.
I like
exactly.
I like
right.
it.
So
Yeah,
when you're
second
hard,
priority.
but that's okay.
So,
I'm the
yeah.
same way. Like
Exactly.
I work for with
All
my
right,
artists
yeah.
and playing games, talking. I do podcasts every week. I like doing videos. I love playing indie games. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You just have to be at. I have to be at because I need the money to live off. So.
my wife and
I
kids
wouldn't
like
there
having our
choose to be
house.
there.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
eating.
Yeah.
Imagine this every day.
Crazy.
Every day. Several times.
I know.
That's just craziness. So how did you all find out about Too Many Games?
Too Many Games, I heard about it last year, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. But this year, Too Many Games was purchased by part of Screenwave Media.
Okay, that explains the large
Ryan.
group.
Yeah, and so we're part of Screenwave Media, and he invited us.
Okay.
And so that's how it's like. I heard about it last year, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've heard of it too, but it's like, well, man, that's way on the East Coast. There's no way we're going out there.
It was nice enough to fly us out here and put us up, so we're not going to turn that down.
Hotel room, one bed, just to get you here.
One bed,
One bed.
one single bed. We got to sleep on top.
Both have corduroy pajamas.
Yeah, exactly right.
Starting
Yeah.
fires. I wouldn't recommend that. So what do you think of the show so far?
I like it. It's crowded. This is our second convention. So the first one we went to last year in Dallas Retropalooza was, I think they said around 700.
No, it's 1,300.
Oh, 1,300 total people, and I think we've at least seen that many today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this has got to be at
This
least
is huge.
close to 5,000 people, maybe more.
It's grown a lot. When I went a couple years ago, it was in this hotel. It was literally like 3 vendors and like a water cooler. So that was like 2 years this
ago.
is great.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's more
yeah.
more than that. It's been better since then. But
Yeah,
But it's cool. It's big. It's nice to see all these people. And,
a lot of them are here to see you.
Yeah, which is also really cool. So, as usual, you wish vendor prices were cheaper, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
about that.
They're pretty.
That-
a lot
that
of
might
them are
be
pretty
better.
cool.
Yeah,
might be better
they can
tomorrow.
haggle a little bit, but
Of course, on Sunday you do better because they
I
might
think
want to
so.
just get rid
Yeah,
of
just
stuff.
Exactly.
get it, and that's what we're hoping.
which is
Huh?
why I'm waiting for the tomorrow to check out that Metal Gear on
Metal Slug.
Metal Slug on Neo Geo, the conversion. They want 200 for it right now, but I don't want
Is
to pay
this
200.
the Portland Retro?
Portland one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I looked at that.
Do you have your own?
But I'm not going to spend $200 on that.
Neither am I.
I shouldn't come home if I do that.
Yeah.
I'll just live here for the rest of my life. Honey, I'm not coming home, but I do have the game.
Yeah.
You have your eye on anything?
I do have my eye on. So far I've bought a reproduction card of Panorama Cotton on the Genesis, which I'm looking forward to play because I can't afford the original copy. Joe has it. I've thought about just stealing it from him.
I saw a magical drop with the Neo Geo Pocket Color for a good price.
Yeah, I don't know. There's another game that I'd like to have is Kid Clan on the NES.
I saw that too.
Yeah, a vendor over there, $100. I'm like, well, can you do any better than that? It's like, I could do 95. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow. See if it's still here.
Let's see how desperate you can get.
Yeah, exactly. So, but other than that, I mean, there's definitely games I would like to have, but the prices are crazy. So, and they're comparable to a little bit better than eBay from what I can see. But
so, how much buying do you all still do? You all have pretty robust collections now. So, do you find yourself really hungry for a lot of things, just one or two things that are kind of priced high that you've held out on?
My focus is really narrowed. Like I said earlier, I'm starting to get into arcade game collecting, the PCBs.
That can be addictive, I've heard.
Yes, it is. And so that's kind of where my focus is right now. We used to go, both of us, to thrift stores a lot. And that's where a lot of our collection came, maybe close to half of it. And
thrift store hunting.
When the prices were really low.
And local,
So like
local video game stores
years ago.
Oh yeah,
And
right now it's forgetting.
People
you can't
think
find
because
anything.
it's a game, it's $50.
Yeah.
This is Mario. Like,
Yeah.
This is the garage sale.
7 million of
We're
them.
actually neighbors.
But nowadays thrift stores don't have much, if anything. So I hate to say it, but if I need a certain game, I look on eBay.
Right.
And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and we have some local game shops that one of them at one point, every NES game, no matter what it was $4.99.
Those days are
long gone. And back 10 years ago, I remember, because I used to work at this store. I worked there, longer than 10 years ago, but they had the buy two get one free on NES games. So, I wish I could go back in time because you could pick up a lot of stuff.
If I would have gone to yard sales and I was coming home for the summers between college, I'd be at a different place right now.
If I could see in the future.
But if I could do a lot of other better things, I would have done those too. Probably before I bought a bunch of video games.
But now it's, I mean, you can't really find what you want for cheap. So
so the collecting is really slowed down.
Yeah, either accept it and pay for it or just forget about it. Or play it on the EverDrive.
Yeah.
So I noticed you do a lot of I'm going to say the terminology wrong, like not stop animation, but
stop motion animation.
Stop motion.
Yeah,
for a lot of the consoles. Do you find that things are hard to put back together once you've taken them apart?
No, because the stop motion you actually see is the console going back together. I open it up, and then I stop motion animate them going back together. Then I just run it in reverse so it looks like it's coming apart.
How long does that take?
Not long. Well, not as long as you think, anyway.
It looks like it'd be there for a year.
Right.
Maybe, depending on the complexity of the console, maybe 20 minutes to do all the animation, and then another 5 minutes upstairs putting it together in After Effects.
And the games you all have smashed on camera are copies or things that don't work anymore?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
Never mind. We're scoping out this place for things to smash.
I'm going to buy that metal slug and I'm going to smash it.
I wouldn't recommend that.
I know.
So the episode where you all put the TurboGrafx and Genesis or Mega Drive adapters into the, what you call it? The
Superboy?
No, but it was like a big VCR. It was an older console. You could buy these really expensive.
Oh, the Laser Active.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where did you find that stuff?
That's the system we borrowed from the same guy who loaned us the X68000. Wow, that was before he moved to Denver. He actually shipped that out.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he is. And he had the TurboGrafx packs. He had the Sega packs, and it's a really interesting console. It takes up so much room though. It's huge. And there's nothing. Where do you put it?
Right.
So
do you guys find you spend most of your time with the older games, or how much time do you spend with newer stuff? I guess is what I'm asking.
Currently,
any interest?
I do have a lot of interest in current games, but it's just playing games for GameSack and whatnot. It takes up a lot of time, which is good because I like playing those games. But modern gaming, I bet of all my gaming time is maybe 20% right now. So it's not much.
Yeah, most of the games I play are also for like game capturing on GameSack or seeing it, even if I want to include it in an episode. But pretty much everything else that I play when I'm not capturing is a modern game. Just see what it's about, stuff like that. And they've got good stuff on the modern systems.
Do you find that you have a tendency to lean towards indie games because they might have a retro type aesthetic or something that's nostalgic?
Yeah, lately, yeah. Per se, stuff like Shovel Knight is an amazing game.
Game of the year last year. I love that game.
Yeah, exactly. Really fun game. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that's starting
Axiom Verge, you guys play
yes,
that?
Yeah, definitely Axiom Verge. It feels great, and it's very reminiscent of the old good old days.
I'm kind of hoping like the indie developers kind of come in and have some sort of renaissance, where they just kind of take the gaming industry and kind of just, I don't want to say reboot, but just kind of have that thing where they just kind of build up, because it might be a little too overblown now. I mean, a lot of the overblown games are great, like Uncharted, but I think we need that more simple type of gameplay.
Yeah. So big companies can see that that's still a viable option to make games, in the old style that people are willing to spend money on.
I honestly think we're there now.
Yeah.
Some people feel like it's overset. There's too many indie games. A lot of people like there's so many. Like
that might also be true. But the same thing though. Back in the Nintendo when era, 8-bit era, when they were releasing all these games, you saw a bunch of crap. Like I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, this one's good.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not a whole lot of difference. It's just that a lot of the indie games are just. I think it might be too easy for some of them to make it. I don't know. But
it might be. Well, some people feel like things like Unity make it too easy for anybody to have an idea. Let's make a game out of it. You have the crap on Steam, then you have the stuff that rises to the top. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a good game, then I can't knock them for that.
Yeah,
Right.
Sure.
Right.
I honestly cannot think of any more questions.
Okay.
But thank you for your time.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
This was fun.
And any last words? Any plugs?
Yeah. Watch GameTech.
Yeah. There's a YouTube show called GameSack. Please watch it.
Watch all the
I
ads.
promise.
Watch all the ads
please.
twice.
Click on it.
Thanks a lot, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. Thank you. That was cool.